Jim, there's a lot to unpack on Boeing this morning.
Yeah.
Baird does make it a top pick as they are bullish on the return of air travel. We mentioned the Cowen call. They're essentially saying the return of air travel is probably a second-half story, given some of the hiccups that we're seeing now in vaccine distribution. And then, of course, the crash out of Jakarta, which I'm sure we'll check in with Phil LeBeau on later on this morning.
Yeah, I mean, this is let's find the black box and see what was said. But I think that the notes that are positive are why the stock ran from 160 to 200. My travel trust owns it. We just said, look, if everyone gets vaccinated, then people are going to go places. There's obviously a plane shortage. Everybody goes places because we're so pent up. The pent-up demand could be extraordinary. But I agree with the second-half notion. We got to find out what's in the black box of the crash. Terrible thing, but more important from the point of view of the stock, not of the people, because money can't be conflated with the loss. But with the stock, Carl, is the vaccine itself. When I listened to Dr. Gottlieb this morning, and he's so good, I said to myself, wow, if they could figure this thing out, it would be a first-half story. But it doesn't sound like they are. And the thing, obviously, is the distribution of the vaccine, which is pretty shameful, I think.
Yeah. Although BioNTech did raise their 2021 capacity to 2 billion doses, which is a lot. And we mentioned Gilead and the hopes for J&J, although it doesn't sound like you think that's going to be a January story, which we have been hoping for.
No, and I was hoping it would be when they announced their quarter. I do think, Carl, that making the vaccine is not the issue. And as Dr. Gottlieb said, one day we're going to be there'll be a vaccine glut. It is this uneven distribution system, and that's a polite word. So they've got the vaccine. A lot of places are throwing the vials out because the stuff's already bad. I mean, I think there's a lot of people who are saying this is not the way to do it, and that maybe President-elect Biden will have a better way. But right now, there's far more vaccine than there is at this very moment. People who are lining up to get it because we're all pretty much discouraged. I live in New Jersey. I don't know anyone who hasn't registered. I also don't know anyone who's gotten it. So it does seem to be a real free-for-all. With Florida being the greatest East Coast, you get it. West Coast, it's just chaos. Tallahassee, no one seems to be getting it. That's kind of a microcosm of what's going on in this country right now, Carl.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.